Hello, my name is Felix Soderak and I'm the general manager for Droidica, which is a spin-out from CartoData. What has happened over the last couple of years is that we've seen the importance that drones have in the emerging markets, and as a tool to generate value to our end customers, we have put together end-to-end solutions using and focused on the tip of the iceberg being the drones. As such, we have drones like these ones that are custom-made for our customers depending on the requirements that we need. This one in particular has different elements that come from different manufacturers running at its core Pixhawk, which is a 3DR autopilot. This particular piece of equipment has been custom-made to face very intense winds over 30 meters per second above ground. The reason for that doesn't stop at keeping the drone in the air, but rather than only flying, is generating elements that can provide solutions to specific industries. In particular, we have this work done with agricultural companies, such as within the tequila industry. These companies require to have a very accurate inventory of the agave plants. The agave plants versus the grape, for example, takes about 6 years to mature in order for it to be used as in order to distill it and create the spirit, which is tequila. In order for that to be accurate, what we did is that we embedded a near-infrared camera as well as a color camera, and then we built some algorithms to do precision agriculture. What that means is that we fly very often, and when we are flying, we use high accuracy levels that can go down all the way to 7 millimeters per pixel. That allows us to do a detection of disease and then the spread evaluation. So if we have more than one crop or plant that is hurt, we can know how much it is and how we can contain it. And the deliverables that we have in these sort of projects go from an ortho-rectified or georeference mosaic, also known as orthophoto. We can generate as well a digital surface model in a LAS format, which is a point cloud where we can measure and create different elements. And we also have an algorithm that we developed for post-processing deliverables, which means that we can find each one of the rows and how many plants are in each one of those. Our automatic counting algorithm does a very accurate evaluation of how many plants are in each one of the areas, and we generate different statistics that show us how efficient is the land being used here based on the amount of plants that we have and the opportunity that we have to expand it. Within the municipal world, what we have developed is a tool that allows us to generate. Let me just. Within the public administration, what we have built is a tool integrating Pix4D, which is the element that we use to post-process these pictures and generate 3D point clouds. As you can see here, we have the evolution of a work that has been done, the pit that was dug, and we can know exactly how much material was extracted and how much material we need to fill it back in. This as well shows us the elements of change, and it can be used as a point cloud as we are seeing it, or it can also be jumped and generating as well an orthophoto and enable it for everyone to have access to it within a context that they are familiar. What would be that context? Google. So we take the platform that Google has and we integrate these coverage that only take this block, and we can see the perspective of how this has evolved. This is very useful for the changes that we can see in cities, such as evaluating the contour lines and the impact that these constructions have, as well as complying with the rules that the municipality has. Then the point cloud is also an element that allows us to combine and verify distances. So in this case as well is a compliance where we are evaluating the distance between two billboards. If they are closer than 65 meters, then they need to be taken down. So in this case in particular, it accomplished that. It complied with it. And here we have a volume that can be a positive volume or a negative volume for construction sites, where we can evaluate the amount of material that we have available. again, to, for example, for concrete companies, evaluating in their yards how much material they need, how much they have, and having an amorphic disposition in the yard. It's very useful to have these sort of tools, and we have already put them into work. Within the infrastructure vertical, what we have done is several works which visual inspections by having bird's eye. This tower right here is over 100 meters high, and what we did is evaluate the line of sight of the antennas and how they were working. And in this second one, what we are doing is evaluating and taking pictures of this well. And the structure requires to have an as-built model. So for insurance companies, it's very important to see how it's structured and what bending or deformation it has had over time. So this is one of the elements. This is the flight where we gather it. And here you can see the actual end result obtained with Pix4D, generating, again, 3D point cloud. And this point cloud also gives us the visibility of the different changes that have taken place when you compare it against the original point cloud. Within the security, emergency response, and fire drill performance appraisal, it's another element that we have put into place by giving the owners and the people that are evaluating emergency situations and fire drills if that's working properly, or if there is some issues that have been found. In this case, for example, we have the person that was injured. Here's a virtual fire, and instead of going this way where there wasn't fire, they went through here. The inspectors that were at ground level weren't able to figure out that there was an issue with it. But when they got to the bird's eye view, they were able to pinpoint that exact mistake that was generated and document it so that the next time this doesn't happen. And as you can see here, we also found some issues regarding the distance to the fires and the hoses and how they were attacking this fire. And this only by having a real-time bird's eye view on the situation. Something interesting that we did with this program is that this was connected directly to the security center, and we had the CCTV connected in HD to what we were seeing in the air at that time.
Trying to get this app to where we wanted it to be. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of expertise. It took a lot of patience.
In the security area, trespassers and fire detection can be done as well with thermal imagery. And the challenge that we can face in these sort of scenarios is to find the right way and the right drone to fix these issues and to detect these elements. Usually you want to be for hours in the air. So the best thing is probably use a combination of multi-rotors or balloons in order to have that sort of assessment. And this last one is a very nice study where we are doing a 3D model after the point cloud, where we see the Palacio de Bellas Artes, which is a very nice building in Mexico City that has the issue that it's sinking. So by having this job done, we can evaluate over time by taking these sorts of point clouds and having a lot of ground control points, how it is performing and which areas require reinforcement in the structure so that we don't have these issues down the road and it can harm the heritage of the Mexican people. And finally, we also have a case where we go into archaeological sites. Archaeological sites have the particularity that they are extremely nice, they are very popular, there's a lot of tourism, but as well you have the issue that gets hit, it's right by the beach, it can get hit by any kind of hard weather. So this is a flight that we did after one of the hurricanes that hit in the Mayan Peninsula, and that gave us this 3D model that was later on compared the same way as we did with the Palacio de Bellas Artes. As you can see, drones are a technology that can be used in many verticals. The importance is not to stop at the drone, to have a post-processing software, to have a workflow that is easy to use, very optimized. And once it's optimized, ready to use, and the flying is systemized by having flight plans and different tools to make it easier, then you can have data that makes sense for decision making and for having a better understanding of your work without gravity.